Well, I actually think it's pretty good. We actually had wacky experience when we were in the delivery room with her. Like, we didn't know who all the people in the room were.
He is a famous American actor, and she is a quiet girl from Sweden. They came from different worlds, but somehow they found each other. For over 22 years, Harold Perrineau and Brittany Robinson have been in love. They built a strong marriage, raised 3 daughters, and kept a low profile. How did it all begin? And what do their lives look like today? Let's go back to where their story started.
My apologies, but I do not speak English.
Yeah, sorry.
Who is Harold Perrineau? Harold Perrineau did not grow up dreaming of being famous. He was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1963 and raised in a modest home. His parents, Sylvia Perrineau and Harold Williams, worked hard to give their children a better life. His mother was loving and firm, while his father believed in discipline and determination. These values shaped Harold into the man he later became. As a child, Harold was curious about music, dancing, and stories. He had a natural rhythm and loved performing for family and friends. Initially, he aspired to become a musician, but later discovered a more profound passion for acting. He studied drama at Shenandoah University and then continued his education at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, where he also trained in dance. His early acting career was not without its challenges. He went from one audition to the next, taking small parts wherever he could find them. In the early 1990s, Harold began to appear in television shows and independent films. One of his first breakout roles came in the HBO prison drama Oz, where he played Augustus Hill. That role gave him visibility and respect among viewers and producers. Then came the year that changed everything, 1996. Harold played Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet, a bold reimagining of Shakespeare's famous play. The film, directed by Baz Luhrmann, also starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. Harold's performance was full of energy and emotion. He brought Mercutio to life in an unforgettable way. People from around the world noticed his talent. After that role, Harold's career gained momentum. He went on to act in successful films such as The Matrix Reloaded, 28 Weeks Later, and Woman on Top. He could take on any role, from intense action scenes to emotional drama. Producers and directors recognized his dependability and versatility. However, Harold remained humble. He knew where he came from and never lost touch with his roots. In the early 2000s, Harold reached a new level of fame when he joined the cast of the hit television series Lost. He played Michael Dawson, a single father trying to protect his son after a plane crash leaves them stranded on a mysterious island. His character was emotional, determined, and relatable. Many fans connected with the deep love Michael had for his child. Harold's performance in Lost earned him several honors. In 2006, he and the main cast won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by an ensemble in a drama series. He was also nominated for the NAACP Image Awards and the Teen Choice Awards. His work was praised for its power, honesty, and emotional depth. By then, he was no longer just a rising actor. He had become a respected name in Hollywood. Fortunately, as his career flourished, so did his personal life. However, who is this ordinary Swedish girl he had a love story with? And how did their relationship go? Let's find out.
Hello, beautiful women of Hollywood, women of power, women of dignity and grace.
Across the Atlantic in the quiet neighborhoods of Stockholm, Sweden, Brittany Robinson was born on the 25th of August, 1976. She grew up in a home that appreciated fashion. Her mother was a respected fashion photographer, always dashing from one set to another, and her father ran a modest clothing shop that catered to a loyal base of stylish locals. From her earliest memories, Brittany was surrounded by fabrics, flashes, and film. She would tag along to photo shoots, watching her mother give instructions to models and coordinate lighting and looks with quiet precision. There was something magical about it all. By the time Brittany was in her early teens, she had already grasped the inner workings of the fashion industry. Although she was a shy teenager, people took notice of her. She had the kind of Nordic beauty that seemed made for the camera, high cheekbones, pale blue eyes, and a presence that didn't scream for attention but held it without trying. She dabbled in modeling at 15, more out of curiosity than ambition. It wasn't until she turned 16 that she decided to take it seriously. She entered a few local modeling competitions and quickly began to stand out. Her photos circulated in small agencies and fashion circles across Stockholm. What set her apart wasn't just her looks, it was her easygoing nature and professionalism. After graduating from high school, Brittany took a leap of faith. She joined a modeling agency in Milan, which opened doors to European campaigns. Fashion shows, catalog shoots, and the occasional magazine cover soon followed. Her style was subtle, her walk graceful, and she carried herself with a quiet confidence that photographers adored. Eventually, she landed gigs in Paris and London, gradually building a career that combined elegance and endurance. Her work eventually brought her to Los Angeles, a city she had only seen in movies and fashion editorials. It was bright, loud, and full of promise. She was cast in a campaign for a high-end fashion brand, shooting in a well-known LA studio. The shoot was a big deal. It was a multi-day production with stylists, photographers, and executives watching every frame. She had no idea that across the hall, one of the actors from Lost was filming a scene, and that her life was about to change.
Well, we did a lot of research. We talked to a lot of doctors. We went online, researched as many people as I can, found heroes who have autism, who've done like really great things in the world.
A beautiful love story? Sometimes love begins in the quietest moments. That is precisely how it happened for Harold Perrineau and Brittany Robinson. Their story is not flashy or loud. It started with a simple meeting, followed by years of patience, trust, and deep respect. In the early 1990s, Harold was already working hard in Hollywood. He had taken minor roles in films and television shows. His name was becoming known, but he was still building his career. At the time, he was based in New York City, moving between acting jobs, auditions, and creative projects. Brittany Robinson was from Sweden. She was young, thoughtful, and lived a simple life far from fame. She was only 18 years old when she met Harold. While visiting the United States, Brittany crossed paths with him. Their meeting was unexpected, and no one around them thought much of it at the time. But something clicked. There was a quiet understanding between them. Something real. They spoke for a while. Harold was charming, but not in a showy way. He was calm and curious. Brittany was soft-spoken, kind, and full of gentle warmth. They both felt something special. When the time came for Harold to return to work, he asked if she would like to meet again for dinner. Brittany said yes. That one dinner marked the beginning of something serious. The age difference between them was evident. Harold was 31 years old and Brittany was only 18, but their connection seemed to care little about the numbers. They respected each other, discussed their dreams, and quickly formed a friendship that gradually evolved into love. However, their early relationship was far from easy. Brittany lived in Sweden, and Harold was in the United States. Long-distance relationships are never simple, and they come with added challenges. Harold had a busy schedule, and Brittany was young and far from home. Most of their communication took place through phone calls and lengthy emails, but even across oceans, their love continued to grow. It was during this time that they began to understand what real commitment meant. They missed each other and waited patiently. They also learned how to trust without needing constant proof. Over time, their bond grew stronger than the distance between them. For nearly a decade, they stayed together through the ups and downs. While Harold's career took off, especially after his role as Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet in 1996, he remained dedicated to Brittany. The fame and attention never distracted him from the woman who had quietly stood by his side since the beginning. They had their first daughter, Aurora, on the 23rd of September, 1994, and by 2002, they both knew it was time to take the next step. They had built a life together, even across borders and time zones. Now, they wanted to make it official. That year, Harold and Brittany got married in a small, private ceremony in Brooklyn, New York. There were no headlines or big announcements, just close friends and a few family members were present. They exchanged vows in a quiet setting. They did not need anything extravagant. They were already a team. What mattered most to them was the promise they made to one another. From that day forward, they faced the world side by side. After the wedding, their relationship only became stronger. They were often seen together, although always calmly and privately. They never tried to make their love a public show. Instead, they kept their moments close, personal, and full of respect. People who worked with Harold would say he seemed more at peace, and those who met Brittany would describe her as gentle and thoughtful. Together, they were a perfect balance. Whether it was a quiet walk down the street, a casual appearance at a film set, or just time spent together at home, the love between them was clear. There were no grand gestures for cameras, only small moments that spoke volumes. Hand-in-hand strolls, shared smiles, and sweet gestures. Their love story stood out in Hollywood, not because it was dramatic or wild, but because it was real. They chose privacy over fame. Over the years, their bond became one of the strongest in the industry. While many around them faced breakups, scandals, or a sudden decline in fame, Harold and Brittany remained solid because they had built their relationship on love and loyalty. Harold often spoke about the importance of peace in his life. He said that Brittany gave him that peace. In a world full of noise, she was his calm. She supported his dreams but never demanded the spotlight. She reminded him of what truly mattered: love, trust, and time together. Even after more than 2 decades of marriage, their relationship remains an inspiration. They still avoid interviews that focus on their private life. They never share too much on social media because what they have is sacred and they want to protect it. Their love story is not about perfect timing or perfect people. It is about choosing one another again and again through every season of life. It is about growing together, not just being together. It's about building something lasting, even when the world around you moves too quickly. Harold and Brittany's journey reminds us that love does not always begin with fireworks. Sometimes, it starts with a quiet conversation and a shared meal. Then it grows, slowly, beautifully, and with great care. Their story is living proof that even in Hollywood, true love can still exist. And after all these years, they remain steadfast, peaceful, and full of love, walking side by side.
See your eyes? Okay, thank you.
Harold Perrineau and Brittany Robinson built their relationship quietly, away from the cameras and the noise of Hollywood. Their love was steady and strong. Over the years, that love grew into a beautiful family. Together, they had 3 daughters: Aurora, Winter, and Holiday. Each one of them brought something special into the world, and together they became the heart of Harold and Brittany's life. Their first daughter, Aurora Robinson Perrineau, was born on the 23rd of September, 1994. Her birth changed everything. At the time, Harold and Brittany were not yet married, but they were already deeply committed to one another. Aurora arrived during a busy period in Harold's career. He was still taking roles in television and movies, building his name. But when he looked into Aurora's eyes for the first time, he knew nothing would ever be more important than his role as her father. Aurora grew up in a unique home, part private, part public. She watched her father act in major films and TV shows, but she also grew up with quiet mornings, family dinners, and a sense of normalcy. From a young age, she showed signs of creativity. She was expressive, thoughtful, and curious. It did not take long for her parents to realize that she had a passion for acting, just like her father. As she got older, Aurora decided to follow in Harold's footsteps and pursue acting. Her parents were supportive, but careful. They wanted to make sure she was doing it for the right reasons. Harold especially understood how difficult the industry could be, and he wanted to protect her from the harsh side of fame. Even so, they let her grow, explore, and find her path. Aurora's first significant acting roles came in the early 2010s. She had a presence on screen that felt natural and genuine. Her breakout came with her role in the film Gem and the Holograms in the year 2015. In the movie, she played Shauna Elmsford, one of the main characters. Her performance was praised for its charm, confidence, and depth. People began to take notice. She was no longer just Harold Perrineau's daughter. She was Aurora. She continued to build her career with roles in various television series and films. One of her most talked about performances came in When They See Us, the powerful Netflix miniseries directed by Ava DuVernay. The series told the true story of the Central Park Five and was known for its emotional depth and important message. Aurora's role, though small, was part of a project that earned critical acclaim. It showed that she was not afraid to take part in serious, meaningful stories.
I think really it's just about family and finding yourself in a world that kind of wants to make you something else.
In 2018, Aurora appeared in the horror film Truth or Dare, where she played the character Giselle Hammond. Though the movie belonged to a genre known for scares and suspense, Aurora stood out with a performance that brought emotional weight and personality. She was more than a scream queen. She was becoming a true actress with range and heart. Her work has continued over the years. She has appeared in shows like Prodigal Son and has lent her voice to animated series. Aurora has proven herself to be talented in her own right. She has her father's depth and her mother's quiet strength. She carries herself with grace and humility, even as her star continues to rise. Many fans admire how she never tries to chase the spotlight. Instead, she focuses on the work and lets her talent speak for itself. Aurora's personal life has also caught the attention of some fans, though she remains quite private. As of June 2025, Aurora is reported to be in a relationship with Michael Vlamus. As Aurora's career was taking off, Harold and Brittany were also growing their family. Their second daughter, Winter Aria Perrineau, was born on the 7th of May, 2008. There is a wide age gap between Aurora and Winter, almost 14 years. But it has only brought the family closer together. Aurora was old enough to help take care of her baby sister, and she did so with love. Winter grew up with a different kind of childhood than Aurora. By the time she was born, Harold and Brittany were already well established in their careers. Their life was more settled. They lived with intention, balancing Harold's career with a desire for peace and privacy. Winter grew up in a home filled with laughter and love. From an early age, Winter showed her unique personality. She was curious, observant, and always asking questions. Harold once shared that Winter had a gift for making people laugh and feel welcome. She brought light into every room she entered. Though she has not yet entered the world of acting like her big sister, Winter has talents of her own. Whether it is art, writing, or simply spreading joy, she brings something special wherever she goes. Unlike Aurora, Winter has remained mostly out of the spotlight. Harold and Brittany have been careful to let each child choose their path. They do not force their children into fame. They simply provide the support, guidance, and love needed to grow into strong, kind people. Their third daughter, Holiday Grace Perrineau, was born on the 21st of March, 2013. By the time Holiday arrived, the family had already experienced many seasons of life. Harold and Brittany had been married for more than a decade. Aurora was a young adult, and Winter was already showing her big sister spirit. Holiday brought a sense of completeness to the family. She was playful, imaginative, and full of energy. Her name suited her perfectly. She felt like a celebration. She added a spark to the Perrineau household. Like her sisters, Holiday has grown up in a home that values privacy and calm. Although her parents are known in the public eye, Holiday's everyday life is filled with normal childhood moments. Birthday parties, school projects, and bedtime stories are part of her world. Her parents have always worked hard to give their children balance, a mix of freedom and safety. Harold often speaks with pride about all three of his daughters. In interviews, his face lights up when their names are mentioned. He once said, "My daughters mean the world to me." He describes Aurora as wise and centered, Winter is curious and joyful, and Holiday is full of love and laughter. Each of them carries a part of their parents' hearts. Though all three girls are different, they share a deep bond. Aurora, the oldest, has always been protective. Winter, the middle child, brings connection and peace. Holiday, the youngest, keeps everyone smiling. Together, they form a circle of love and support that has kept the Perrineau family strong. In a world where celebrity children are often pushed into the spotlight too early, Harold and Brittany have done the opposite. They have raised their daughters with care and privacy. Fame never came before family. Whether they are traveling, spending quiet weekends at home, or attending a school event, the Perrineaus live with intention. Now, Aurora is a grown woman. She is building a career, earning roles, and making a name for herself in the film and television industry. Winter and Holiday are still growing, still learning, and still becoming who they are meant to be. Their futures are bright, full of promise and endless possibility. Harold and Brittany often say that their greatest success is not found in movies or awards. It is found at home in the quiet moments they share with their daughters. The simple joys, morning breakfasts, school drop-offs, long walks, and late-night talks are the things that matter most to them. Ultimately, their story is not just about the love between two people. It is also about the family they created, a family full of laughter, support, and endless love.
Hey, Harold, do you speak French?
I don't. I wish I did.
Hey, right here, buddy.
Over the years, many celebrity love stories have come and gone. Fame often brings with it a heavy price, and relationships can easily fall apart under the pressure. In the fast-moving world of Hollywood, staying together is rare. Staying in love is even rarer. That is why the story of Harold Perrineau and Brittany Robinson stands out so clearly. After being together for more than 3 decades and married for over 2 decades, their love has not only survived the test of time, but has continued to blossom into something deeper, quieter, and more profound. Today, Harold and Brittany are more in love than ever. Their relationship has matured most beautifully. What began as a long-distance connection between a young Swedish woman and a rising American actor has evolved into a strong, grounded marriage, marked by mutual respect, deep understanding, and enduring admiration. They are not just husband and wife. They are best friends. They are partners in every sense of the word. Harold often speaks fondly of Brittany during interviews. Though he is a private man, he never hides his feelings when it comes to his wife. He has said on more than one occasion that Brittany is his anchor. She has stood by him through the highs and the lows, through early career struggles, and the bright lights of fame. Whether he was traveling for work or filming in faraway places, he always knew that Brittany was holding things down at home with strength and love. Even though Brittany chose to stay out of the spotlight, she has always played a central role in Harold's life. She is the quiet force behind his calm presence. Over the years, she has been his safe space and his strongest supporter. In many ways, she gave him the freedom to fully commit to his work, knowing their home life was steady, peaceful, and filled with love. Their relationship today is built on years of shared experience. They have raised 3 daughters together, navigated different cultures and countries, and built a home that feels safe and warm. They have learned how to give each other space and how to reconnect with one another. They have faced challenges and disagreements like all couples do. What makes their love story special is how they handle those moments with patience, humility, and always with love. Now that their children are growing up, Harold and Brittany have entered a new chapter of their lives. Their home is still busy, but it is also quieter in some ways. With Aurora now a young adult working in film, and Winter and Holiday moving through their school years, the couple has found new time for themselves, enjoying quiet mornings together. They go on walks, they cook meals side by side, and they laugh often. It is in these small, everyday moments that their love continues to thrive. Those who know them closely say that their connection has deepened even more over time. Harold is still as attentive and gentle with Brittany as he was when they first met. He notices the little things, such as when she is tired, when she is happy, and when she needs space. Brittany still lights up when he walks into the room. She listens closely when he speaks. Their affection for each other is real and steady. It is not for the cameras, it is for them. Traveling is something they enjoy doing together, especially now that their schedules are more flexible. They have visited Sweden many times over the years, reconnecting with Britney's roots and spending time with her extended family. They also enjoy exploring small towns, quiet beaches, and cozy mountain spots where they can just be themselves. Whether it's a weekend getaway or a longer holiday, their trips are always filled with laughter, comfort, and meaningful conversation. One of the most admirable things about Harold and Britney's love today is how well they have protected it. In a world that often demands public displays and constant updates, they have chosen a quieter path. They rarely post about their relationship. They do not attend every celebrity event, and they do not use their love as a publicity tool. Over time, they have learned how to maintain their happiness. Their home is filled with books, music, and art. They value learning and growth. They have created a peaceful space where their daughters can grow and where their love can breathe. It is not about luxury or attention. It is about feeling safe, being heard, and being loved just as you are. Even now, Harold still calls Britney his muse. He says that the roles he chooses and the way he tells stories are shaped by the strength and grace he sees in her. She has taught him patience, compassion, and humility. In return, she says that Harold has taught her courage, confidence, and the power of dreaming big. They are still learning from one another. That is part of what keeps their love alive. Every anniversary is celebrated quietly, and sometimes it's just a simple dinner at home. Other times, it's a handwritten note, a shared playlist, or a night spent watching old movies. They do not need grand gestures. Their history together is full of quiet memories, moments that do not require anyone else's approval. As parents, they remain deeply involved in their daughters' lives. They attend school events, help with homework, and stay up talking with them about everything from friendships to dreams. Their love as a couple has given their children a stable foundation. Aurora once shared that watching her parents has helped shape her view of love. She said that the way her father looks at her mother, even after all these years, is something she hopes to experience herself. Now, after 22 years of marriage, Harold and Britney have grown side by side. Their love has become a peaceful rhythm. It is steady and gentle, like the ebb and flow of the tide. Through every change in life, from career shifts to growing children and new goals, they have remained each other's constant. Many people admire them not just for their longevity, but for the way they carry their love. It is never loud or dramatic. It is quiet, respectful, and full of gratitude. It is the kind of love that grows stronger with time, not weaker. The kind that holds firm when the world feels uncertain. Their story reminds us that love does not have to be perfect to be lasting. It just needs to be real, and it needs two people who choose each other again and again, no matter what. That is what Harold and Britney do every day. Even after all these years, when Harold talks about Britney, his eyes still soften. When Britney smiles at him, it is the same smile she gave him years ago when everything was just beginning. Their love today is not a fairy tale. It is something better. It is real, tested, and deeply cherished. As they move forward into new stages of life, perhaps watching their daughters fall in love, maybe becoming grandparents someday, one thing is certain: they will face it all together, hand in hand, heart to heart. Just like they always have. Harold Perrineau and Britney Robinson have demonstrated that true love can endure, even in a world where many lose their way. Do you admire the lovely couple and their family? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.